All right. Hi, everyone. You're here for the last session. If you hung in and have come back, we appreciate the opportunity to close out the day with you. I'm going to turn the floor over to Dennis Steigerwalt, the president of the Alliance, to get this ball rolling. This shouldn't take us too long, and we do want to get feedback from you during this session as well. But Dennis, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, thanks, Betsy. Appreciate it. So I appreciate everyone's time this afternoon. I think we dug into a lot of really good conversations. We were able to get a lot of great people together from across the industry. First thing I want to do is thank the team. Betsy, Natalie, and Paige did a wonderful job pulling this together. And Paige is the newest member of our team, so I'd like to give her a second quickly to introduce herself. So Paige, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Paige Murphy. I'm the newest addition to the Alliance team. Before I moved back home to Pittsburgh, it's where I'm originally from. I was living in New York for the past 3 years, where I worked for a home staging company and then as an event planner. So my role here at the Alliance is a great combination of both, and I'm just really excited to get to learn from all of you and get to meet everyone and be a part of the team.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it's great to have Paige on board, and she certainly joined at an interesting time. So she's got to learn everything very quickly and then relearn it all over again. So in addition to our team, I want to thank the speakers. Without the speakers and subject matter experts, we couldn't pull off the content that we did today. And also for our community. I've received a number of texts and emails already for everybody thanking us for pulling this together, even under the current circumstances, and being able to pull it off in this digital environment. So again, really appreciate that, and the team from VFairs that made that happen. I think the work from Ayumi, capturing the highlights of each of the sessions, is going to be a fantastic share amongst the crowd. So we're really looking forward to see what that looks like. As we kind of move forward a little bit, I want to talk, before we get into our community itself, just want to talk, for all of us, the world changed, right? Over the last few months, we thought about the safety of our friends and family and our communities more than ever. We've had to look at our work-life balance in a way that we never thought we would. And if you're like us, your business plan completely blew up by the middle of February. So we kind of had to stand back, think differently, and attack it. Now, there's some good things that came out of that, right? So if you have a dog, every day is bring your dog to work day. I think Betsy can appreciate that.
I think you can hear him right now.
I get to have lunch with my 3-year-old and 5-year-old ninja who build their warrior courses above my office on a daily basis. And I can order beer and pizza without ever seeing a delivery guy, which is pretty interesting, right? So there are things that allow us to get closer to our friends and family on this. But for us, we immediately started to think differently, and we went right after it, went on the offense. And this program that we pulled together today is a perfect example of that. We were very deliberate and decisive in developing new models, new market engagement plans, and different tactics for engaging with our community and the industry. And we accelerated all the technology roadmaps that we had been developing to look at how we scale the virtual engagement with everyone. So we really appreciate everybody's support out there to help make this a reality for us. And just like this slide says, we are a nationwide community of game changers. We're looking to drive innovation in the industry through crowdsourcing that intelligence. And I think today was a perfect example of that. And one of the things that we've also done is we have a formal partnership with the University of Denver, which we'll talk about a little bit later, as well as Dave Cooper Live. And we've cross-pollinated with other organizations like the Urban Land Institute, EVA, and Pro Builders 40 Under 40 group. So we're really excited about this, and being a part of a group of people that are bold and creative enough to kind of start this movement and follow it with us.
Not to mention the SBCA and all of the folks in the offsite construction space have been great new partners for us as well.
And with that, I'd like to hand it over to George to share his thoughts on the day.
Oh, thanks, Dennis. And thanks to all of you for spending a good part of your day sitting in front of your computer screen. It's interesting. Above the gates of Parris Island, the Marine Recruit Station in South Carolina, there's a thing that says pain builds character. In this case, I think ours would be that the stress of coronavirus has actually accelerated the need to be creative and innovative in the way we do things. And from this platform that, I think Dennis and Betsy and the team found only a couple of weeks ago, to pulling this off, and with great aplomb. I think it's really interesting to show how that kind of stress can lead to creativity. And I can envision us using this platform to not only deliver great content to you, but I think we've discovered it's a great way to connect with each other, at least on an interesting way. I mean, it was fun for me to go through and see Elena in here, and Margaret, and Molly, and Rodney, Steve Laterra. Hi, Steve. Rich Bensaka. I mean, the connection of seeing somebody's face and the emotion and sharing stuff was great, particularly because we didn't have to get on an airplane, take an Uber, stay in a hotel, so on and so forth. So it's going to be interesting how we take this and go forward. But similarly, I'm hoping that each of you is finding opportunities to really do the same kind of creativity and innovation in your business. And the encouragement here is that if you saw someone or heard someone that you thought, hey, maybe they have an insight that might be helpful, that's why we have the connection book that Natalie has put out. So we can connect with each other, because it is in those connections that we actually get this collaborative innovation that Dennis talked about early on. One of the things I'd like you to do is inside the chat function as we're going through here, if you can put any ideas of what you thought both worked well and didn't work well, it would be really helpful at this point. I know many of us had problems coming in at the first part of this, and we've already got that one on the list. But there's more. And I would love to get your insight while it is top of mind while we do this stuff. I would also like to really thank our innovation partners, our sponsors, those of you out there who really, there we go, perfect, who really have helped make this possible. I mean, you look, every one of the people on that list has made a financial commitment to help make this collaboration of people and our ability to get together happen. What did someone once said of Louis Armstrong? Know him, know me, know them, know us. So to all of you out there, from our transformation partners and our innovation partners, thank you, thank you, thank you. It really has been fabulous to have you on board with us. With that, I'm going to go back to Dennis, and go ahead. Please go forward.
Yeah, thanks, George. I appreciate it. And I'd like to add, we spent probably had over 100 conversations in the last few weeks, many of which were with our partners there, to kind of find creative solutions that we can engage with the marketplace and kind of roll out activities over the next few months, which Betsy will get into more detail on as we move forward. But what I want to just take a quick second to present to you is, if you haven't had a chance to look at the introductory presentation that Betsy and I put together on the future of home delivery, please take a look. It's about 20 minutes long, and it kind of lays out our predictions for the next 18 to 36 months based off many of those conversations I just referenced. And what we've done is we've taken a simplified approach to how we're going to unfold our story and our market engagement activities over the next few months. We're going to look at the business of building. We're going to look at consumer relationships and consumer engagement, and we're going to look at home delivery models and home delivery itself. So that will be they will be the core anchors for everything to do. And obviously they're all interrelated. Some of them weight more in other topics than others, but this is going to be the simplified approach that we take as we unfold all of our messaging going forward. So with that, I'd like to hand it over to Betsy, and she'll take you through what we have in store for us.
Okay, great. And I'm going to do that along with Natalie. Natalie and Paige are really my partners in crime on the program. I oversee all of the programming that comes out, including today. And really, Natalie is our voice to the industry. So when we have things packaged and ready to share, and even some of these products and opportunities that we're showing you, she actually manages as well. So as we were looking at kind of reinventing what we're doing, we tweaked some of our older offerings and created some new things. Dennis mentioned the presentation that we put together. It was something we pre-recorded. That's not on here, but we are doing some on-demand webinars. So when you don't have time, there are things that might be introductions to products, like some demos that we did on our heat map for offsite construction, as well as the lead-up presentation here. Last week with Craig, Colin from Tavistock, he did a great presentation with us and Dave Cooper on Dave Cooper Live via LinkedIn as a live streaming event. So that's a platform we're using now. Couple of weeks before that, we did an introduction of the heat map along with SBCA and Devin Perry from NAHB, Laura Dwyer from DuPont, who was really one of our transformation partners who really helped champion that product with us, that tool for the community. So we'll be using live streaming to do things like introduce products, give some in-depth case studies, provide some community perspectives as well, in partnership with Dave Cooper through LinkedIn predominantly. We also are creating podcasts in partnership with University of Denver. We took a new stance on that, and somebody in the chat window asked about the university partnership. I'll touch on that a little bit, but we can talk more offline if you're interested. But they participated and did an amazing job with us at our live roundtable event in Denver in November, and covered the event, did podcast content with us. So they're partnering with us to produce that content. Natalie's in charge of that product area. And that's experts and early adopters will be, parts of those discussions and podcasts. We'll get some personal stories, etc. And those are available. It's color-coded green when we show something in color codes because the green things are on demand and the orange things are live. That's true of our events as well. And then Coffee Talk, if you were able to attend the session today, that was the think tank, but it was a think tank you were sitting on that Margaret Whelan was running for us on Home as a Service. That's really a similar format to what we're doing with Coffee Talk moving forward. So we've got a couple of sessions planned for next month. One is unpacking all of the reports that are out on offsite construction. And Dennis, you can jump in and give any more details on that you might want to. And the other one is going to be marketing focused, using digital tools, engaging consumers at a distance. So Terry Slavik Sayuki, I think I got that right, who was on this morning with John, is going to join us again as a primary presenter for that, along with someone from Zillow and someone from Matterport, and we're in the process of securing a builder. So if you're a builder who wants to be part of that discussion, we'd love to have you. But in those instances, we want to take the feedback that we're getting from you and questions and ideas and issues that you want solutions for, and bring some experts together as if we're having a casual conversation and sharing insights, and then you'll still be able to chat with us and connect with those folks as well through that environment. And then if it's a subject matter that you're really interested in, like when we do the offsite piece, if you're looking for a partner, an investor, or what have you, we've talked about, haven't formalized yet, the idea of doing some virtual happy hour tie-ins where we might do a coffee talk one day and a couple of days later do a virtual happy hour and help match make people so they can connect with people working in that space who might be able to help them innovate directly within their own businesses. I'll touch a moment on a couple of the tools that are out or will be out soon, and then I'm going to turn the floor over to Natalie. But the offsite heat map, I think, is probably one of the best examples that we have of crowd-accelerated innovation within the Alliance. We talked about offsite construction for like 15 months, 16 months, and we got approached by a few people in the community wanting to visually see what the providers who would work with builders and developers in a production building environment, who they were, where they were, and some background information on that. So this is a live tool that you can click on. We went from 250 listings to 900 from data partnerships with SBCA, MBI, and NHB, and also people actually adding individual links to it. We're going to be adding new features to that, like panelization as a view. We've got a BIM roadmap that we've been sharing 40, 50 pieces of content over the last several months that we're going to package that into a nice bundle that gives you a high level view of and a structured view of how to look at BIM and housing. And we're doing the same on the attainability front. When it comes to the tools, what's best for us is if you come forward and say you're looking to solve a problem, or you like these kinds of things and there's something else that you want to do. So if you can think of something that we should be doing along the lines of a tool, we're open to listen, and then we'll see if the community is game for it from the longer haul. And then just quickly, we're debating now, I think everyone's debating whether they're going to be traveling or allowed to travel, or if it's going to make sense in November. But we'll be looking at whether we do something like we did today in an expanded offering versus physically being in Nashville where we had originally intended. So that's just a quick look at what we're doing. And then I'm going to give this to Natalie for a minute for a few minutes on the voice of community.
Thanks, Betsy. Virtual high fives to everyone on the team and to all of our attendees. Thanks for participating. So I wanted to mention that a lot of our topics that we talked about today, and also even some of the questions that we asked, were crowdsourced. So we got them through talking to our members, asking these pulse surveys on LinkedIn and social media, and through a variety of other touch points that we have in our community. So if you see these little orange bubbles pop up in your LinkedIn feed, go ahead and click on them. It's only one question every week, and we really appreciate and take your opinions to heart. Go ahead, next slide.
Oh, that's just what the impact might be.
Yeah, so to give you an example, the offsite heat map started out as a what if, or wouldn't it be cool if conversation. We talked to our members and our partners and found that there was a true need for this kind of tool, and through a variety of partnerships made it happen. So how can you get engaged? I'd love to see the energy that we have here continue to build momentum over the next few weeks. You can email us, tell us what you're working on, tell us what tools that you would find helpful, resources that you need. Continue the conversation on social media, and the bottom line is we want to hear from you. Next. So it is an earnest invite that I invite you to join our community to help shape the future of housing.
All right, so we just kind of put this last little slide in here to see, you know, we've been getting some good comments from people on the platform. Again, kudos to VFairs. We didn't even know about this software until 4 weeks ago. And they did a lot of customization for it. And some of you mentioned that, for it to feel like us, which was very important to us. We're very brand centric, and I'm a bit of a crazy person that way, and they were amazing. So I think there are a lot of things I'd love to hear from you guys, of things that you would like us to do that we didn't do in this environment. If there's something we could try to do virtually either better, or something that we haven't done as well, we'll be totally open to any ideas there. And if you also have any ideas or any feedback on any of the other topics that we had today, feel free to go back into those chat rooms and post. We do read everything that everyone writes to us. As Dennis said, we had 100 conversations with people. I want to tell you, there was a good list of 75 questions, and probably that came out of the last few weeks that were really thoughtful questions. And probably 60% of the questions that we started our think tanks with today came from the community. So the more feedback we get from you guys and input we get, the better.
Betsy, thanks. Before we end today, I just want to give a shout out to Holly Hernandez with the University of Denver for some of the beautiful notes that she's posted on our social media. She's taken over for the day and shared some great takeaways. And also invite everyone to join Dave Cooper live on his LinkedIn page at 5:15. He'll be interviewing some of our attendees.
Cool. Anything else for the good of the order? Nope.
I think it's great. Right on,
Cocktail-
everybody.
Cocktail time. Okay.
If I had the champagne bottle, we'd be popping it. Yeah. Well done. Well done. Very quick
right.
pivot. Well executed. Fantastic all around.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.